It's another episode coming your way full of jam-packed Street Fighter V action here for Street Fighter League Pro-JP 2021. My name is Vicious, here with my man St. Cola, and this is episode 11, day number 2, coming at you. The last day for the week, and just in time for the holidays for those of you that have been spending it waiting for some Street Fighter V action. Well, here you go. This is the time to check it out because we have so much to talk about. Not only in just the teams and what's going to be going down for today's action, but also with the new character that is coming out very soon. Luke is coming our way up until 29th is exactly when he's going to be available. And that's also when we're going to have even more Street Fighter League action for you in Japan, right? Again, the 29th of November is something you need to mark down your calendars for, because not only are we going to have Luke, but it's just the start of another episode of Street Fighter League, episode 12, I believe, with more action. Calling all the shots with me right now, St. Cola. He's been doing so for the entirety of the month. What's going on, man?
Dog, there's a lot of things I'm thankful for, and one of the things I'm really thankful for is that I'm on the mic and not on the sticks, because these savages are out here trying to get those points to get the qualification. Maybe some of them might use this character, as we just mentioned, Luke coming through real soon. Can't wait to see this character being worked out. We're going to have a new V-trigger kind of system that I'm excited to see, and also some execution barriers that allow him to have a little bit more damage and a little bit more usage on there too as well. So remember that they can, if they want to, use it in episode 14. That's the 7th of December, if they feel so, if they feel like they're ready with the Luke, and that'd be kind of cool to see. But as we said before, there are points on the line to stay fine. You want to get in that qualification spot on the dot. In January is when the playoffs are going to be happening, and the grand finals as well. So for the playoffs, the first place in terms of the lead of points on the leaderboard is going to be solidified at the top. They're going to be sitting pretty. 2nd to 5th are going to be vying for the final spot to face off in the league playoffs. The top 2 teams of the playoffs will move on to the grand finals, along with the first place of the league, and the top 2 teams of the grand finals will move on to the world championship at the end to represent Japan going up against US plus more. That's going to be so sick in February.
Exactly it, right.
It's going to be so tight.
It's pretty much going to be Japan versus the world when it comes to the finale in February. And I do believe Capcom actually just announced their finals going on in February with Capcom Cup. And of course, there's so much on the line for this season of Street Fighter League for Japan, right? 8 million yen on the line. If you're looking for that calculation, I'll tell you what, you better bust out the calculator or just use Google, really. The champions are getting 5 million yen, 2nd place getting 2 million yen, and 3rd place with 1 million yen. That's going to be the full breakdown of what you can expect here for Street Fighter League Pro-JP. That's still a hefty amount of cash for the 4 players that compose each and every one of these teams. So again, you've been tuning in for all the runbacks for the second half of this season. And speaking of, we've been recapping a lot of these episodes with some of the players out in Japan. They've been doing a ton of recap, just overall, not even just talking about their stats, but just overall what's been going on with the strategies, what they've been doing. But speaking of recaps here, Saishukan Solo Kumamoto taking down Kabufa Detonation 3-1 with an ever-impressive record. Mishikin and Nemo executing the plan, take down Itazan, and playing it flawlessly.
Absolutely had the secret weapon on the deck to take down Itazan, and then Nemo coming through for the 3-2 against John T, who was on a hot streak. And then we move on to FAV Roto Z versus Shinobiism Gaming, with Tokido taking down the surprise pick from Higuchi that nobody really expected to see the Dictator on the deck. Sakonoko taking that 2-1 victory once again over Momochi, and then Banche losing to the robot, the man that is more machine than Fujimura, with those immaculate jab buffers that were ridiculous. Y'all need to definitely check the replays on that, because he was pumping the spiral arrows right after every single jab. It was ridiculous. So shouts to him for that win, and shouts to all the people in the line above the red line right there. You see that Good 8 Squad is at the top spot, right? 2nd to 5th is Shinobiism Gaming, FAV Roto Z, Oja Body Star, and Gyogun, all trying to stay solid. But right behind is Soul, Milodon Beast, and Detonation. That point lead is starting to diversify a little bit more, starting to get a little bit more of a gap.
Yeah, you're starting to see it, but more of these matches could still get you into that 5th place spot. There's still a couple more days of Street Fighter League left for a lot of these players to start to bring themselves into that position of being a threat. Although you are in the bottom 3, like if you were in a team in the bottom 3, although you are down there, you still have a chance to make it at least within the 5th place spot in terms of how well some of the teams are doing, and how poorly some of these teams can actually get stopped from playing. Like they could be performing. Man, I was watching YC Mochi earlier, actually. Sorry, I cut myself off in between sentences. But man, he got a lot of emotion. But either way, some of these teams may not do the hottest, may get neglected some of these points. So even if you're in the bottom 3, you could still find yourself within 5th place, at least gunning for it. As we only have, you know what, I think 7 to 8 days left to Street Fighter League, including this one. So absolutely close when it comes to those bottom 3 teams so far. We can expect with Mildon Beast going up against Gyogun, you already know it's going to be a massacre.
Absolutely. Y'all can check out all the action on YouTube, Twitch, and Milodon on Capcom's applicable channels. Make sure you are catching the action. If you missed any, hit the VODs because we are ready to get into it. We are going to have our first set of the day, starting it off with Gyogun and Mago, the 2D god himself. All days Mago is how he wants to play, leading the charge. Right behind is Mr. Optimal himself, Machabo. Don't let the Nakali pick fool you. We've seen a lot of Kami too as well. Right behind is gonna be the hero of Sunrise, Moke himself with that ridiculous Rashid play. And last but not least at all is gonna be the beast, Suzaku Mizuha, coming through, proving people wrong and saying he's one of the strongest calling players in the business, rounding out the Gyogun side of things, going up against Milodon Beast. I can't wait to see what happens.
You know, it's really curious to see Gyogun and how they've been doing so far. And you can see Mago with that intimidating presence, but not as intimidating as this roster. Milodon Beast, led by the living legend, Daigo Umehara, with that patented guile play on the hitbox. Of course, backed by one of the heaviest hitters, attack on heavy tank, Fudo, rocking that poison, and occasionally the Armika. But of course, with the Hermit of Shimane, it's going to be YHC Mochi with the legendary Dhalsim himself. And of course, rounding it out with the Road to Psycho, the Wild Gun, Moruto, and that Dan. We haven't seen too much of this cat throughout the entirety of the season, but when he's shown up, he's performed to the T with that Dan, as impressive as always. I'm kind of curious to see what Milodon Beast is going to be doing to step up to the plate. They are in the bottom 3 as it stands right now. They still have 17 points, but from their last couple of games, they weren't doing so well. Like you can see the last run back they had against Team Gyogun, they fell a little bit by the wayside, 3-1. And how it broke down, you can see Machimo was the only one that didn't get that W. He was still getting himself acclimated and still using that Kami.
Yeah, Mizuha taking down Moruto, which was actually a fantastic set. You know, it's really hard to figure out how to fight Dan, so it was really cool to see Mizuha acclimate, as you said, in the middle of the match. And I think it's going to be important for the home team to really be in this home position, right? Because the character picks are a little bit more dangerous to deal with on the away side. We say a Rashid, a Kami, a Karen. And on the side of Daigo's team, you got to be able to place your Guile as one of your strongest pieces in terms of matchups. Not just, player spread, but in terms of matchup spread, the Guile's going to be a very important pick in my opinion, because a lot of these matchups are not too good on the side of Sim, Dan, and Poison and Mika, depending on what goes on. So it's important that they're in the home side of things, and we're going to get the discussion real quick from them. Daigo recently on FGC Translated was talking about how the fact that he noticed that he was not making these W's happen, and he was like, it's not about nerves, he's just like, I gotta step up my game. So I'm wondering to see if he's going to either be in the anchor position, or if he wants to go up first, or if he's ready, if he's found that sort of momentum that he needs, because he definitely needs to get some W's.
We've seen him be a little bit more animated as of late. He's been pretty active on the cams, but he hasn't been active on the sticks, right? He fell just a little bit short to Ryusei the last time they played back on the 18th of this month versus the V6 team. But right now, as the discussion goes on, Fudo's the only one that's actually saying anything, saying it's a good lineup for them to handle, and everyone just kind of stayed quiet after that. As it stands right now, we talked about Daigo and his current performance. I don't know if he's going to be continuing for the team. Like, is he actually going to keep putting himself in with the home team for the games today, or will he take the bench? I'm curious to see, but I'm also curious to see when they're going to put Moruto back in, because we have not seen him thus far. We are panning the camera towards him. I think he's going to be playing. Okay, they confirmed it. Moruto is actually going to be going up first, and Fudo is the one being put on the bench for today's matches.
Wow, Moruto going up against Moke? this is wild to me because, on paper, talk about on paper matchups and stuff like that, it's difficult to deal with Rashid as Dan. You don't have the good normals. He puts you in the corner, you suffer. You don't have the damage differential or stun to kind of get things done. You can put him in the corner pretty quickly, but it's going to be difficult. Morito says that he's nervous as always, but he's going to calm himself down by winning. He said, I'm going to win. That's my way to calm down. You see right there, he did win an anchor match with a golden edition right there the second time that he played, and then only lost, once. So he's got 2-1 on the score, 3 points for his team. Moke, however, only 1 point, only 1 win going in. This could be a second time for him too as well. But it's like, do you understand the Dan matchup? Do you understand this character? Because it could feel like it's infinite pressure from Dan if you don't know how to deal with his V skill too.
Right, trying to even press a button in between could lead to massive damage and massive stun, which eventually could lead you to the pseudo-infinite situation from Dan. Although it got taken down this season, it's still a possibility. Then becomes a gotcha game, a mini game within itself, if you will, with the quote-unquote lucky fireball. But that's what's going to be established. It's going to be Moke with Rashid against Morito with Dan, as we get ourselves ready with the home team trivia. We've talked about this matchup before, Dan versus Rashid, right? Rashid is not going to be having that difficult of a time doing what he wants to do, fulfilling his objective and pushing Dan on the defensive end pretty quickly. It's just a matter of what Morito has to contest. I want to know what it is that Dan can do to stop Rashid here in the neutral, at least, right off the bat. But we'll get into that in a second as we get ourselves ready to figure out what the interview is about for the home team today. When it comes to the home team trivia, Fudo says Daigo is very good at speaking even when he's alone. And the topic is actually states something that you are envious of in regards to your teammates. So it's the same theme as yesterday, or excuse me, yeah, actually yesterday, because it was Wednesday. Daigo also says Mochi is good at balancing work and gaming. YC Mochi says Morito is very good at checking front dashes, which he is, actually. He does an excellent job of checking the offense, so that's something to look forward to. And of course, the final member of the team, Morito says Fudo is very good at countering opponents' characters.
I think that's very true for Fudo. We definitely see a diversity of his characters. But going back to this matchup, one of the things that will help Morito, and him as a player that he's really good at and he's figured out with Dan that he does the best, is being able to build up that V gauge for V shifts to get out of sticky situations or find punishes, and really being adept at managing that bar very well. We see him in so many cases building that V bar really quick with the V skill cancels. He's damn near perfect. And then he also has a lot of bar built up early in the round to get the V shifts or get the trigger situations. And Dan isn't really damaging, but he can stick to you like a Gorilla Glue. Like, he's on you, right? He puts you in the corner. He's hard to get off. And even with Rashid with the XDP, it may be difficult to land those hits to get out of those situations. And again, does Moke know how to play this matchup? I keep saying that because Dan is a very rare character. You don't see many Dans out here, especially at a high level like Morito's playing.
Yeah, I feel like the way that Morito likes to play is, well, he keeps it very difficult to even check in between some of the block swings that he presents, especially with a V skill to cancel. But I'm sure, Moke, being the veteran of the scene that he is, and also being a part of Street Fighter League, there had to be a moment in time where he's like, yo, Dan is actually a real threat. I have to consider him. I have to put him in the lab and figure out what to do. But we'll see if he did his due diligence. Morito with that Dan, Moke with the Rashid. Let's see how it plays off. A lot of support coming in from a lot of these teams as well. One that we have to mention, of course, Fudo's wife always watching and supporting, sending out a tweet of her own for Mildon Beast. That was getting read out loud not too long ago.
Now stuns rising on the side. They're going to need all the support they can get. Morito has lost so much health. Crouch Fierce connects in the V skill. DP ender right there, of course. And this is the corner pressure that you got to be able to find a way out of. This may help. I like the challenge off against the knees. A lot of people don't stand block that, but Moke was prepared and ready.
Very important factoid, actually, because Moke, again, even outside of that situation, just full control. Getting the offense started relatively early, pushing Morito to that corner, and just rocking with that life lead. And again, using that meter of the EX whirlwind shot already to push Morito into this corner. And I like that. Morito understanding that after the forward medium punch from Rashid, he is allowed his turn. This is going to be huge now. Diamond Redskin into the Dankukyok. more damage and further push to the corner. I like this from Moruto fighting back.
I got also the backdash though from Moke, knowing that he wants the activation DP on that V skill, and there's the Dan. Oh man, that was so smart. Find the medium kick, because there's not a lot of ways to find a punish on that sweep. Some characters can't do it, but Moke had an answer. This shows that he's studious and prepared. Good cancel, but I'm glad he didn't cancel on the V skill kick. That would have been bad. And now going with the pressure off the V trigger, allowing that extension and the plus frame situation.
Man, I gotta say, Moke was well prepared for all the block strings that Moruto presented with that V skill too, and even got himself out of harm's way from the block string from the Danretsuken, or Dankukyuk, excuse me. Koryuken, now big important tech for Moke that would have killed. Slowly pushing his way out of the corner. He's not gonna have trigger yet, and the full confirm off of the stand medium kick. Moruto with a slight smile on his face. Again, that W calms his nerves. He's trying to get as many Ws as possible, so he's not nervous for his team anymore.
I like that. Find the momentum. You see right there, being able to cancel into those moves makes him so deadly. That's what makes Dan a little more deadly than what people think, but problems like that, if you miss that cancel, it could be a bigger punish. Luckily, only a little bit of damage, but you have to be careful. The interruption, now Moke be a little bit more preemptive with the fierce right there, stopping some of this approach. I like that he's backed off as soon as I said that he gets dashed in on, and there's the dash check right there from Moruto that his team said he was so good at.
Okay, now a lot more pressure. The steamboat here from Moruto. Forward throw now, close to getting Moke under wraps. Look at the amount of pressure coming in from the trigger harassment. The enhanced fireball just giving him so many plus frames. And no activation coming in from Moke. There it is, off of the actual hit. Forward throw further into the corner, dashing up against Moruto, but Moruto backing off.
The chase down the hot pursuit, the side switch, that was radar ridiculous. Put on the pressure, base out the EXDP, he waited and baited, and the health is gonna be especially disintegrated. That's the end, and Moke with the win.
Baited and waited indeed, only to see himself fall short. You know, Moruto again had that life lead, but he also made a very important guess, the guess of his life essentially. We see what happened, Moke making the right decision, having the correct reads, taking it down against Moruto in full force too. That was a gang of damage on that punish, so well thought out from Moke and just overall good patience. But no credit taken away from Moruto either. Again, putting Moke in that situation where it was close to taking the game back away from him. That was very impressive. It's just a shade of what we could see. The potential of Moruto definitely still there with his Dan.
Yeah, it's still there, just making the right decisions on taking back that turn. Nice sweep off the feet, but the XDP comes through in the clutch. Moke gets that corner push. This is where you gotta make Dan suffer. And I like that we see a lot of the stand fears from Moke to stop some of the Dan kicks. He stands outside the distance knowing that's coming. V-skill cancels aren't coming through a lot, but again, that builds up so much V-bar with the quickness. Could see a V shift or V reversal or whatever in the side of Moruto, but it's not happening.
Does get to confirm into the Dankukyuk. Big crush counter, not making real business of it. He just wants to get the positioning available. Back throw from Moke on wake up. The trigger is still there to apply plus frames, but Moruto finding a gap and pressing a button in between it.
Oh, that was so smart. The V-skill right through that with the roll. No butter. Moke, one touch situation right here. And this is where, where she can actually play in a decent wheelhouse. You got the meter kick, crouching light kick, still has a lot of range on it, even though it's been nerfed. Great closer.
Oh, that could have been lights out. Absolutely could have been lights out. Moke wasn't ready for the punish against the dropped V skill from Moruto. Full critical art on deck from Moruto also. If he gets a solid confirm, it's gonna be more than enough. About 10. Ooh, yeah. Moke using the long limbs of the law. The crouching light kick from Rashid, covering so much distance. I feel like further than his crouching medium kick. Oh, wake up, he had uppercut
right there. Yeah, but the neutral jump though right before Moke caught me sending limbs, and I feel like that's really smart because a lot of these fierces and heavy kicks come from Dan. A really good option is just a neutral jump, throw out your heavy kick, and make them have to go for the anti-air right here because the grounded game is not looking too good for Moke. He's getting pressure. Good challenge though. He's back his turn. Right for the activation, the jump back fade away. Block and play though for Moke.
Here comes the activation off of the medium. A good amount of damage in from Moke. Not going to spend the critical art just yet. He's looking for a way to kill or at least get the offense started. Moruto, however, getting a good amount of damage off of that one EX bar. V-shift break out of there. No longer in threat of the trigger.
That's what we're talking about when we say, you know, that V stuff. He's really good about using the V shift, V breaks, and things like that with this character. He builds up so much of it. He's willing to use that because he knows he's going to be able to get trigger in this round if you don't go down. But Moke's got a lot of bar to cook with too. That's a pull in the pan. I feel like two good conversions maybe will seal the deal.
Oh no! Just like that. You are not allowed to press the button in front of Moruto after that forward throw from Dan. Just well within range for that standing heavy punch to reach, and even so, he's still able to cancel it. Nice work from Moke, already getting started in the corner off of that forward throw. A lot of extra pressure. EX whirlwind shot, another throw coming in from Moke. A slight hezzy with that standing medium punch. Moruto not susceptible, but here we go. Does hit to confirm. Dan Q Kyak.
I'm glad you know the names because, man, I've just been calling Dan Kicks, Dan Punch, Dan DP. Well learned. So is Moke right here in this matchup.
Nice and dandy is what I usually call it, but you know, sometimes we gotta make sure the names come out. Either way, the trigger activation is coming in from Moruto. 2 bars on the side of him, so he could get a good amount of damage and the carry, but Moke has done a great job of just kind of keeping himself risk averse away from the normals. Even if he doesn't get the punishes on drop V-skill 2s, he's gonna be just fine, right? He's just gonna make sure that trigger is no longer a threat. That's the main priority, but here comes Moruto, does get the down reps can, and damn, I like the extension.
Across the room, not enough to finish the plate. One touch from OK could seal it. The skill activation. Eagle Spike stays all right. Moruto is blocking out the rest of that trigger. Interruption again. The dashes are checked. You're going 60 to 25. We need you to slow down.
He's trying to hit his criteria. He's trying to hit at the end of the month, make sure he gets as many traffic stops as possible. This man was checking all of the dashes, all of the illegal movement. Moruto, again, being called out by his own teammates from Mochi, saying that he's very good at checking front dashes. He wasn't kidding. He absolutely wasn't kidding. That's exactly what got him the W here, tying it up against Moke, trying to fire away with the crush counter off of the Fierce. Already off to a great start. The down Redskin getting a good amount of damage, but not overextending. Even though he doesn't get the corner parry, he's still going to be trying to face it out at neutral.
I do like the fact that we see some damage from OK, but it looks like you can't get a fat punish off that that sweep. That's good information there from OK. At least getting something on the deck to push to the corner, but the challenge though from Moruto with the man hands on him and the throw. Fierce again. We showed you this last time. How many times must I do this to you before you learn? EXTP though from OK puts him in the corner. And this is the position that you want from OK. You got the pressure with the V trigger and you got EX bar to use. It's time to spit.
I like that V-shift break going past the whirlwind shot, enhanced by the trigger 2. Moke only has a little bit of gauge left. Yeah, he spends it on an Eagle Spike, a big crush counter now. Regular spinning mixer, just another throw coming your way. He just needs one more touch. EX Danretsken coming in from Moruto? I don't know about all that one.
No, but that one did not work out too very well. And now Moke on set point. I was going to talk about how I like Moke using the crouch fierce and the standing fierce to crush counter some of these light buttons, all these dash checks, but the crushes are coming through from Moruto's side. And you see how he backs away, try to get that Dan kick pressure right there, where it's going to come through and be difficult to deal with. Even on block, you still get that push to the corner. So yeah, Moke has to be preempted with the fierce, but fist to face from Moruto puts him in his place. Dan kicks to him, the DP ender right there. Take throw, not much more to go.
Oh my God. He actually did get to finish it. He had a crush counter opportunity, and now Moke, it's his time to shine now. Even though he's at a huge deficit, he still has one round over Moruto. He's trying to apply so much pressure. The forward throw now. What's the Oki situation? The V-shift barely getting out of danger. Moke is swinging away.
Give her something, anything. The chase down. We saw this before on the V reversal. Get got. Wake up, super no! And the punish coming through from Moke to seal it. The nervousness got to him, and he cracked just like that. Moke with the win.
The one time he committed to something as extreme as a critical art, he gets full on punish. Even if it was an EX uppercut, he would have got destroyed after that. Moke making the right calls and making the right reads on offense, really, choosing not to go for any sort of meaty, and you can see a little bit of disdain there from Moruto. He's like, man, why did I decide to get up with that? It happens, man. To be fair, like, any other person probably would have got, but it just so happens that Moke was the better player for today, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Moke getting it 2 games to Moruto's 1. Eager to see what the stats are like as their match went on. Moke actually getting himself another W on the board. What, his 2nd win overall with 2 points? You can see the anti-airs 0% from both ends. Definitely not ready for it, but it is a little difficult coming in to anti-air Rashid. But the invincible reversals coming in 2 for 2. The EX spinning mixers from Moke, absolutely vital in getting the momentum back. 2 out of 4, 50% from Moruto. You know, one of them being the critical art and one of them being EXEP. Maybe not the best choice, but it's also a risk that needs to be taken sometimes to steal the momentum back. Either way, Moke taking it down 2-1. Very impressive start for Team Gilgun.
And that was just another example to me of how to deal with a matchup. Maybe that, you know, we didn't see like the full knowledge come from OK, but just playing on the mistakes of the other player and taking advantage of these moments and making them crack. Sometimes if you don't know the player all the way, or the character all the way, that's fine. You play the player and you find your victory that way. Moke taking another victory on the side. Moruto out for the day. We have more discussion time from the home team to see what they're going to do and see what they're going to put up. I'm curious, does Daigo go up now, or does he go in the anchor position when he's got more games to play against Mago?
Nah, I think he's going to put himself up against Cammy, to be honest, against Machibo's Cammy in particular. I think YC Mochi would want to be a little bit risk averse. They want to be kind of straightforward and to play it by the books. Not too much being discussed, but if YC Mochi decides to go up, he's going to be in dire straits. Like, we talked about him conquering some of his bad matchups in the league. This one's going to be probably the worst one. Cammy versus Dawson, never a strong start, but you do have a valid point. If YC Mochi goes up next, it's because of the fact that Daigo really wants to play in that anchor spot. And I do believe, yeah, I think you're right. Mochi's Dawson is going to be coming up next, so you're absolutely right on the money. Daigo is indeed going to be the anchor.
Wants that revenge, wants to have that win, but gotta rely upon Mochi coming through. This is a difficult matchup for Sim, but the Cammy player has to understand how to make it difficult, how to get in, right? It has to be able to, you know, read the room properly in terms of dive kicks, anti-airs, and things like that, and not lose a lot of health in the round start situation. Mochi, the type to kind of slug it out, and I'm curious to see if Machibo, who is newly minted with this Cammy, is prepared. We see he's got 1 anchor win on his side, also another win, but a few losses, so 3 points on his side, also 3 points on the side of YC Mochi, who has been getting more wins, getting a little bit more momentum, did lose last time. Mochi saying that although Machibo is Mr. Optimal and he's good reactions, there are things that Mochi is confident in that he's better than Machibo is at, though, too. Wow.
I do like that statement. You were talking about how players in this matchup going up against each other, Cammy versus Dawson, the Cammy player has to understand how to read the room. The thing is about that room, it's pretty much a storage closet. There's not much square feet to really make a read off of. I think in this matchup, you know, as Cammy, you don't have to put in as much effort to close in the gap. She has so many ways to get in and so much damage to output. It's actually kind of ridiculous taking down the matchup. Sure, Dawson has the long limbs to kind of keep you away and keep you posted for quite some time, and applies, you know, or presents that kind of labyrinth of normals you have to guess and understand. But at the same time, you know, Cammy can do it all. Cammy is like the perfect character for this game right now to take down any matchup. She doesn't have any real bad matchups, Saint. It's so interesting. I'm just gonna be honest. Cammy doesn't have that many bad matchups, if any. So when you talk about how Cammy players have to read the room against Dawson, that room very small.
I actually agree with you. Module says that everyone on this team feels like they're always on the same frequency. Moke says that the 2 seniors are always good at expressing themselves. They're very helpful, and that's really helpful. I'm sorry. It's good that they're, you know, the seniors are good at expressing themselves and making, you know, their intentions known with things. And Machibo, you know, being able to be on a team where everyone's on the same frequency is really great. You don't want to be on a team where people are, you know, dismantled, disgruntled and stuff like that. Win or lose, that's going to be able to keep them morale, which is really important in a league sort of situation. But yeah, I do agree with the fact that if you are a Cammy player, you slim down your opportunities you get in, you're gonna get that win. By the way, Musa also envies Mago's ability to sleep almost anywhere. I wish I had that ability too, to sleep anywhere, bro. Mago, you got a secret power.
I think being able to sleep anywhere is not quite the same as being able to sleep. This, I gotta say, you know, Mago, maybe he's an easy roommate. He just go in and just pretty much sleep on the couch, on the floor, on the table, in a chair, anywhere. But it's whether or not he actually gets some sleep. But a follow-up to that statement, Mago follows up saying, although he has never overslept in his life, there are times that he's almost gotten into trouble because of how much he's slept. I feel you. I feel you on that, Mago.
Yeah. Get the 5-minute dress up, you know what I'm saying? Like, quickness.
Oh, he better get that down pat. That's exactly why I illuminated my hair, to cut down on the shower time. Either way, it's going to be Machado going up against Mochi and Cammy versus Dalsim. Whether or not my statement was true, I'll leave it up to the viewers. Here we go. Standing heavy punch from Mochi. Back to back so far.
And I saw the distance. I like the little slight fade away with the shimmy. Wake up with the Gale. Catch that throw. Hold this one, though. The anime. The Prinzel. Put it on him. I like Mochi just backing away in the situation, not trying to get with a back throw situation where you would have to hold all the pressure from Cammy. Especially them dive kicks will be running through heavy.
Already with the chase down, Machado now in full control, getting the forward throw now. Another one. Still within range for a meeting. Gets another throw. He's going to take another one. Oh, the viewer reversal. You cannot do that. Oh, this is tough now.
The chip. Yeah, you got to hold it. Every sort of flavor from that one. In the quickness. You were talking about this, like, you know, there's some difficulty to try to get in, right? But there's many ways that she can do it. And once she gets in, it's hard to get her off. The throw pressure, strike throw pressure, caught up in the corner. When you don't have a reversal, it's hard to deal with. And some of these anti-airs not always working out. So that's why you see Mochi just blocking, waiting, doesn't want to get with a dive kick into a, you know, ST combo with the knees on him. Oh no, the walk up on the float.
Yeah, and Macho actually got the appropriate punish. And why I see Mochi still trying to get himself out of the corner, using the V-shift, but still the counter hit and the pursuit from Macho Ball, walking back and forth, looking for a throw bait the entire time. Why see Mochi wasn't going to give it to him? Man, he navigated himself out of the corner. That's huge. No punish on the whip side of the uppercut. The reset from Macho Ball is looking pretty intense. The chase down against the teleport, but why is Mochi still living? He has been trying to escape the pressure. He is trying to outrun the cops and finds his exit in that round.
With that wee. I do like, you know, I've seen something where like it was like an article describing why I see Mochi there, like he always has these great violent comebacks. That's a good example right there. Staying solid against Cammy with the movement, the smoothment. Look at that, fading away from the spiral arrow and play and punishing the DP. Cook him. Talk about his shoes.
God.
Talk about his family. Talk about his cooking. Oh, the stun and done. YHC Mochi puts one on the board.
Cammy the type to put raisins in her macaroni salad and bring it to the picnic when it's uninvited, or when it's unsolicited, especially on Thanksgiving. YHC Mochi took it out of the back and he buried it. He buried it immediately as soon as Macho showed up to his doorstep with that dish on Thanksgiving Day.
He said, nah, we want a potato salad. That ain't clear here. with some flavor, but with the spice, YG Mochi is super nice and has got a game point on the board. And we might be seeing more. Look at him swing off that heavy kick, looking for a crush. Got to be careful though. Cammy pressure, but that's what. But then he switches this on the offense, right? Like you think he's gonna go in the defense and go for a teleport, but he walks up with the violence in his eyes.
The big throw made now from Macho Ball, exactly what he was looking for earlier. We talked about that kind of violent tendencies that YC Mochi has. I will say, when he's not playing offense, his defense has been pretty on point, especially against someone like Macho Ball, who's been hounding him down majority of the match. One big flaw coming in. Okay, that's an absolute punish. Macho Ball coming in at the right time, getting the jump in against YC Mochi, committing to that roundhouse, getting himself the first round of game 2.
I think Macho should definitely be more, you know, about the jumpers, he's got some of the best in the business. Like, back when he played in the college, he was one of the best of business along against Phenom in terms of finding the right times to jump in. You've got a character that's pre-built for that. Like, there's a mix-up built into her jump-ins. Maybe not that distance, though. Hold up there. There you go. Finds it off the hooligan. Ends it with the spiral arrow, going in for the Oki, double down with the mediums. Again, the spiral arrow to put on the pressure and caught the V reversal. Activation, you can't do that, my friend. What do you think this is for free? This is looking easy. Macho with a one-hit touch situation right here.
We're bound to see a tie game. If Machibo can seal it out now, cooking up just a little bit, this is going to be pretty good for YHC Mochi. Now putting yourself near a snipe position, and it's going to be Mochi hanging in there. Machibo committed to the uppercut, the trigger enhanced uppercut, thinking he could steal his turn back without spending that bar, but YHC Mochi as vigilant as ever. This guy has been super on point in making the reads on what their opponents want to do on defense.
That was good offense from Machibo. Using that heavy kick to get the crush and puts him in the corner. You always look at these positionings, but the wait a little bit too long makes him hold two throws. The dash up throw again. You take these throws, you don't want to get crush countered and get hit with the mix that could come from this character. See that V-bar at the bottom, blessing the dome, christening the cranium. Oh, the super
God.
From Pace Gun Hackney, put it on him. What's that situation?
Oh my God, the punish from Machibo! A jump back medium kick, YHC Mochi immediately regretting it. Double dash jump for the medium, what's gonna happen? And you can see the brainless back medium punch there from Machibo, keeping Mochi locked down. No escape options coming in for you. YHC Mochi taking it down, tying the game 1-1. That could have gone either way.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the back brainless, the back medium punch right there. So strong against 4-frame and characters that don't have good 3-frame, rebuttals. So always good to throw that in the sequences to get that, to seal it. After that super situation, it gives you Oki. And Mochi like, dang, okay, I gotta calm down a little bit. Because now Machibo's starting to put some things to solidify his game plan. We see the crush counters off the standing heavy kick come through to get the knockdown. We see spiral arrows maybe get a little bit better in terms of placement and not so much risk and a little bit more reward from Machibo's side. If you're YHC Mochi, it's about just taming the beast. If you're Machibo, it's just about running those jump ins and staying a little more solid to find that win.
And so far, it's been pretty close to the wire, down to the wire, I should say, into the final game. It's been pretty back and forth. At certain points, I should say, it looks like it's going to be all Machibo, steamrolling Dalsim, Wise the entire time. But that's not the case. That's something we could have expected with the matchup dynamic, but not even close to what we were seeing. In actuality, YHC Mochi doing a fantastic job playing the neutral. Look at how much damage that Machibo has sustained and just finding the wrong moments to use certain special moves.
Now he's lost all this health. It's a one. Now it's definitely a one-touch situation. See that medium come through. That's going to be a punish. No EXDP. Another DP to end it. Up that sequence. Now you're calling for the corner. She can make the return no receipt right here. Oh, again, another EXDP trying to take back the turn. The nerves get into him in the crack. Just like that, YHC Mochi on set point.
I haven't seen him this adamant about using EX uppercut as an interruption tool. Big whiff punish against the Fierce coming in from Machibo. But yeah, Machibo has been pretty antsy in this game in comparison to all the other games he's played. But YHC Mochi, the one bringing it out of him. Let's see how this trigger comes out. Yeah, there's the first dive kick. Just has access to one more. Does get a punish on the slide. Has to spend the rest of the trigger. Here comes YHC Mochi.
Trying to jump out too far out for the DP, and that'll do it. YHC Mochi. Fist to the sky. For the win right there. Taking it over. Machibo, unfortunate. So many errors cost him all that health. We were talking about that before. You cannot afford to be missing those DPs, having those sequences. You got to keep it tight and stay all right. But YHC Mochi, on the other hand, making him crack. You got to play Dalsim's game. right? And that's the difficulty. And someone like Waichi Mochi will force you in those situations, and we saw it right there. That's a win on the side of Milodon Beast, tying things up against their opponents.
Now the most we could possibly get, since both teams have scored a W for themselves, you know, Moke getting the first one against Monoto 2-1, and now YHC Mochi getting one for Milodon Beast. The most they could score is 3 points from either side. It's all down to that anchor match. Mago versus Daigo is what we could expect later on, but we have to see these stats first. YHC Mochi doing a fantastic job, at least trying to contain the damage and assess the risks. 3 out of 6 when it comes to anti-air, but a lot of movement overall. And of course, 0 out of 0 in terms of invincible reversals from Dhalsim. Machimo, however, 7-11 never closes, 63% in terms of the anti-airs, which is pretty impressive against someone like Dhalsim who has access to that float. But here's that number that was the detriment to his game. 1 out of 3 on invincible reversals, 33% not finding the mark. And even though there were some that weren't quite reversals, him utilizing the standing, actually the enhanced uppercut as an interruption tool has not paid off. You can see YC Mochi taking full advantage of that if you decide to watch the VODs. But overall, if you're looking to see how the matchup should be played and how to counter it, YC Mochi is that man to study in that match. Dhalsim versus Cammy now in the books. It's moving on to Mago versus Daigo, a match that is timeless in and of itself, no matter what game of Street Fighter is going on.
That's correct. I mean, these two longtime champions, 2D God versus the Beast himself, it's gonna be super sick. Daigo, again, just not having the victory that he's been wanting, the victories that he's been wanting. After CPT, he said in the FGC Translated, he's like, I used up all my luck for CPT. Like, I qualified and it's not transferring here, but you definitely want to have a victory out here. You definitely want to get your team in. Remember that they are below that red line, and this would be really big for them to get some more points going. Looks like Daigo is bringing the Guile up next, and this is a matchup where if you got the Sonic Booms on the deck, you're feeling fine until she's got Bar at the bottom that she can scoot step underneath, and her normals can contest pretty well with Guile. I think it's a pretty even matchup. But some of that may not matter because the styles may be so different that they may play a different way. And Daigo may be so hungry to get that victory. We see a lot of wins on the side of Mago. We see 8 points right there, 3 golden wins right there in terms of the anchor matches. Daigo only with 2 points on his side.
No, you're absolutely right. Something that's kind of uncharacteristic of Daigo, considering the amount of time he's been putting in with his character using the hitbox. He's only net himself 2 points for his team, which is pretty surprising considering what he's been doing in the CPT as of late. And of course, one of the other CPT competitors that have made it in the first qualifier, Mago, with a lot of gold W's on his side of the board, making sure to pull his weight in gold, really. No pun intended. 8 points overall is what he's had in his career for Street Fighter League this season, proving himself to be a very effective leader. But the last time we saw Daigo play in this particular matchup, I'm trying to look it up, right? Milodon Beast versus Gyogun. Daigo took it down against Machibo with that Guile 2-1. And then afterwards, Gyogun, we saw it from the recap, they managed to take down the rest of the games 3-1. So we'll see how it plays out in the anchor match. I'm kind of curious. Tell me a little bit about Karen versus Guile again. So again, we've talked about how it's not too much of a match disparity. Both characters can pretty much control the game in their own ways, but overall, like, we're looking at the neutral, right? We're talking about what Karen's going to do against some of these normals and the Sonic Boom.
See the crushing kick right there. If she can get in against those long, like that zone 2, she can get in zone 2 and get in zone 1, which is right in front of that face, and then she can work her magic. The difficulty is navigating, you know, the back fist, forward fist right there, the Sonic Boom pressure, forward meaning kick, and the charges that Daigo will always be putting on. But if she can get in, she can definitely dump out the damage and get that win. We might be seeing it there, and the EX bar will definitely help out with that if she can read the boom pressure. That's the difficulty too. If it's a different sort of boom in EX, you might get caught. Gotta be careful with it. And the bait's like there with the medium, just a fake out from Daigo.
A lot more booms coming in from the side of Daigo too, and just full control, making sure that he has to force Mago to come on in, either take the chip or not. But here we go. Okay, the low medium kick after the upside down kick, whiffs, or actually not whiffs, misses the mark, just getting it blocked in general. Mago is slowly pushing Daigo to this corner and within range to get an EX Sapo just in case a sonic boom comes out. I'd imagine Mago is looking for that the whole time. Yeah, you can see he's well within range to get an EX Sapo to punish any sort of sonic boom. There
Just
it
as
is,
you
the punish he's been
predicted.
looking for. And players only
Backs
want
away. He
one
knows he has
thing,
to
and it's
overextend.
disgusting. Woo!
But the
you
activation
did!
on hit, you definitely did. Unload the whole clip and that'll do it. Air him out.
He made sure he felt that. Nobody's safe when it comes to the Popeye arms of Gaia.
One thing I have
man.
seen a lot every time I watch Daigo play is like he's so good about finding the right time to sling out the sonic boom to find the activation and find those final hits to do it. He's so good about building up his bar, great meter usage, sealing it with supers and things like that. Always prepared and at the ready. So that's why if you're Mago, you got to be steady, trying to get in there and apply that good Karen pressure that she's known for. Plus she gets a 4-framer that can't do much in terms of fighting back unless he spins the bar for an EX reversal like a flash kick.
Oh, that is a giant jump in and using EX Orochi and Roundhouse Mujin Kyaku again with the pressure. Mago applying that crouching medium punch meaty. Daigo just opted to go for movement on wake up. I don't even know if it was a counter hit. I don't think it was a counter hit. I didn't see it. But Daigo just wasn't blocking.
That back fist right there. Gotta be careful. That can be whip punished and dealt with. Karen's Fierce can come through in the clutch. Or he'll just walk up with the mediums. B-skill ender, build that bar. And this is good. She don't need V-bar to make that comeback. She can use it for V-reversal, staying offensive with it.
Big trade-off now. Mago in full control. Having Daigo in this corner is absolutely pivotal for this matchup. And also having full critical art. He could explode onto the scene if he gets a single hit confirm. Exactly what Karen is known for. Forward throw now. Resets the neutral just a little bit, but still towards this corner. Guile is stuck. Full resources available for both. He doesn't need it. He's going to be going into the Orochi, into critical art. No need for trigger. Boom! Just pulling the damage from the cannon arm that is Karen.
Such great play in terms of blocking, walking and blocking. This is super important to deal with zoners. I know people get frustrated when they have to fight zoners and things like that, but walking and blocking is key. We saw that come from Mago. It's the threat of Karen's buttons also being placed. Like if you swing, I'm gonna put you in your place. I'm gonna put you in the corner and make you sit there. Any of the back fist, forward fist, things like that he wants to control outside the long range kind of game, along with the sonic booms, kind of gets threatened. So he has to be careful with mixing that in and out, especially with the EX bar at the bottom. So those things, walking and blocking, along with just pushing Daigo to the corner, is how he's gonna get that victory. We talked about this before. And the jump in right there. Right through a Senha for that corner push too. Oh, fold him like an omelet.
Oh. Look at that, close to stun, but still, even if it's dwindling down, Mago getting another jump in EX Orochi. The stun is going to be there. More than enough damage to continue the onslaught. Mago finding all the right times to jump in on Daigo. That is the second time we've seen it thus far in this set. Making quick work of Daigo and his presence in the neutral. No threats with the Sonic Booms just yet.
Ooh, now we're getting offensive with it. I kind of like the style a little bit better from Daigo when he gets a little bit offensive. But Ma goes in with that EX dash, EX flash, puts him back to full screen. Now you gotta navigate the maze of booms. Careful now, trying to find activation with that heavy kick. No go though. Trace Bear with Daigo. He's got all the lead and health. This could be a big return for Daigo, using that zoning, slinging out the booms. And the upside down kick, but Ma goes in. Oh, seeing that pressure with the
now
throw.
in full control to the activation off of the roundhouse. Although it caught Daigo up in the air, there's still critical art off of a single hit. Can he get it? Can Mago secure himself a second game advantage? Oh, the interruption was there, but Daigo still very, very lucky towards the end, getting that third jab against Mago. Whew, that could have been dangerous.
That is the bread and butter of any Gauss play, is that crouching light punch. Such a good stopping tool right there. Not only is it, good to throw out the booms behind, but just a good stopping tool to prevent people from coming through. Trying to anti-air trade though. Daigo trying to leap out. Careful of that crouching medium punch. Flash kick gets a distance again. And Daigo mixing up his template consistently. We see a lot of booms come through and then normals and then just a lot of that mix to do it. The throw though. Mago wouldn't take that -2 situation just to get in, just to get close.
Oh, single hit confirm off the low forward, misses the extra Tenko. We're waiting to see who's going to pop their trigger first. It's actually a V-reversal from the side of Mongo, and this is going to be a perfect opportunity for Daigo to get himself started with the baby booms. EX shuffled through the other boom. I can't believe it.
He took back his turn. Mongo!
Another single hit confirmed from the 2D God. Low, medium kick, and immediately spending the bar for the damage potential. EX Tanko. Mongo up 2-0 against Daigo.
I feel like Mongo's presence in this match has made it really difficult for Daigo to do what he wants to do. Like, taking his turn back after that minor situation, I don't know if he expected that, but Mongo, also with the jump in too as well, has been coming through, make it difficult for Daigo to kind of get a real good rhythm, not only on how Mongo wants to play, but how Daigo wants to play himself.
Right. Let's get the opener off with the target combo coming in from the low. Now it's all Daigo, the most offensive we've seen him thus far in this set. If he's okay, committing to the Tenko is Mongo. Okay, this is going to be very interesting now. The trigger into the sweep after the Rekka Ken. Or the Guden Ken, technically.
Take that throw. For sure, for sure. You can open up in the neutral jump coming through. Nice idea from Daigo, knowing he was going to come through with the rest of that trigger. Hits him with the jumping medium kick and seals it. Can this be the momentum turning point that he needs to come through? Not with that heavy kick getting punished, though. Mongo into him.
Oh. Standing medium punch pressure now coming in from Daigo. Another single hit confirmed coming in from the 2D guard. Important tech now. Jump back jab to make sure that he at least gets an anti-air. Crouching heavy punch. Speaking of anti-airs. Nice conversion there from Daigo. As soon as Mongo ran into the Sonic Boom, did get the sweep, but still, look at the critical art on deck. Any solid confirm, even if a crush counter fierce. Yeah, Daigo's fishing for it. He's trying to get it into position to get a critical art, but still, Mongo's not gonna give it to him. Back throw now.
That slight delay, sweep off the feet. Mongo. Daigo, any person, he jumped into the boom, and that super, we'll see it. We'll see him, I should say, with a point on Daigo's side. Finally, coming through.
That's what he was looking for. He was opting to save the critical art for that very moment. He wasn't even going to spend it on EX Sonic Booms. Good work and good decision-making overall from Daigo to keep his faith in his critical art. He's like, you know, I'm bound to get one of these situations statistically where Mongo would have to run into these booms. If and when I do, I need to confirm it into the critical art. Daigo understands the mission, and he makes sure he sees it come to fruition. But here comes Mongo getting another solid jump in off of a read, a predictable Sonic Boom.
It's unfortunate, lost a lot of health in that situation, but lands the other side, able to get the jab in the flash kick. Still trades. I like this more aggressiveness from Daigo. And again, as you were mentioning, that bar being built up, air throw. Back down to the ground you go. Trying to find that crush situation. That would be great for him to get that finish, but Mongo in there with the EX. Sweep activation, of course. Stagger step the mediums. Open up.
Oh, man. Overcommitting just a little bit. Mongo trying to make the most of his V-trigger. Daigo completely sniffing out the falsities of that string and making sure to get the full appropriate punish. Nice work there from Daigo.
I think he's been really good about dealing with that EX dash. As of late, I should say. It was kind of rocking him in the first couple of rounds, but he's kind of got it down. And switching what he does, spinning some bar every so often just to keep Mongo on his toes. Again, that crouching jab, look at that. Just waiting for him to come in.
Oh, kind of like that, still air to air. He's trying to get another single hit confirmed. It's a little bit too far out. An important tech there from Daigo. The counter hit is there, but no conversion there from Mongo. He did get the straight hit, the crouching jab to hit, but there's still no counter hit conversion off of that. Daigo also full critical art. If he gets the 5 knuckle shuffle off of a crush counter, he could go into the CA link.
Definitely would love to have that. No confirm, unfortunate for Mongo. Still can still make the magic happen. Not this round, he's going down. Daigo with the crouching kick. Activation, super to seal it, and even things out. Daigo is not out just yet. The beast is still unleashed.
Going into the final game, I bet it's a huge sigh of relief for Daigo, but the job's not finished. He understands what needs to be done. Job is not finished. But man, he's getting a lot of mileage out of these critical arts, man. This guy has got all the fuel in the tank necessary to take down Mago. But I will say there were a couple of slight mishaps from the side of Mago, trying to commit to things that aren't gonna work out for him. Right, getting some of these single hit confirms can be dangerous if you're too far out. The Tenko can indeed whiff if you just frame it.
Unfortunately, you gotta stay solid with the target combo flow from Daigo, using the V skill extension right there for some damage into V bar, but Mago answering right back on the wake up. Eyes weren't even open. Back throw though. Trying to get that crush situation, but Mago, I like how he walks up in some of these normals. Instead of just blocking it out that we've seen before, he'll just straight up walk. But he's eating a lot of damage. Maybe needs to find a different sort of method to get in.
Well, as it stands right now, Daigo is looking like the prime winner. Right? The prime winner for this round, with the amount of life he has left and the critical art on deck. But Mago, I mean, he could amass a comeback here. We can start off right now, the back throw. But man, it's gonna be a tough hill to climb. Forward throw.
Bro.
Now he's actually in kill position, just like that. EX flash kick. Daigo Umehara, God, he was definitely ready with the Ume flash kick.
Let that thing sing. Daigo on set point. Look at him, more confident in neutral.
Entirely different from what we've seen this match start off to be. Man, that was a sick whiff punish off of the forward fierce. Mago getting a crouching fierce of his own. Forward throw now. If he gets himself on the board with this round, that's going to be a big momentum shaker against Daigo. But speaking of, Daigo out of the corner now. One more for stun. He gets
Got it. The beast coming back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You talk about that comeback, a massive comeback. 3 games straight.
This has got to be fantastic for Daigo, not only for his team, but for himself to find that victory. You find a big win, but all eyes are on you after the CPT. Seals it against Mago. A lot more aggression coming through the neutral, and good decision making. We saw it right there at the end. He used the EX Sonic Boom, used that opportunity to escape the corner instead of staying there. Super smart with it, and then locked Mago down. That's a 3-1 victory on the side of Milodon Beast, taking down Gyogun.
Themselves at 20 points in the standings, if I'm not mistaken, right? They came in with 17, getting closer and closer to that 5th place spot above the red line to get themselves into playoffs. So, we talked about it. There's just still a handful of games left for a lot of these teams. They can still slowly make themselves a very big threat. And Milodon Beast is definitely one of those teams right now. As we take a look at the stats and how it went down, 3 games to 2. Mago falling short to Daigo. We can see what had happened, what transpired. The anti-airs, 50% for anti-airs from Daigo, but 100% in EX flash kicks. On the other side of the board, Mago, 5 out of 7 when it comes to the anti-airs. Not ready for all of them. 0% when it comes to invincible reversals from Karen.
Yeah, I didn't see so many bust-up situations, but good for Daigo to have those on the deck and be correct, because he definitely will get hit pretty hard from Karen. Fantastic play from his entire team today, really taking advantage of the situations that were given to them. There were drops going to come from either side, right? But it was fantastic to see them pick those up, Waichi Mochi especially, but Daigo on his side too as well, seeing that Mago came lacking a little bit. He said, if you slacking, I'm going to clack it. I really like the fact that he did the upside down kicks and the 4-meter kick too as well. The command normal said deal with the crouch meter kick. That was proving to be kind of a pain point in the walk down pressure. And we're actually gonna have an interview come through from this team real quick, talking about probably their victory and how happy they were. We saw Daigo absolutely elated, happy that his team and himself has found a victory. Just super excited. Daigo saying it felt so long. I'm assuming saying so long that he's felt, that he's got to win, underneath his belt. And it has been. It's been games upon games. Yeah, referring to the team getting a win, actually for the team itself.
Yeah, I mean, both can be applied for that statement, right? It's been a while since we've seen Milodon Beast actually get a significant W on the board. They've been in the bottom 3 for quite some time from the stats tracker. And of course, from the side of Daigo, he's only won 2 games for himself, right?
It's pretty raw. I guess I had one more in the book.
Raw. Yeah, Daigo also says that Mago was quite a tough opponent to everyone in their team, so Daigo volunteered and prepared for the Cammy and Karen matchup just in case, which is something that we kind of talked about earlier. We were curious to see whether or not Daigo was going to put himself in that favorable matchup, or not favorable, but a matchup where, you know, he'd face off against Cammy and have Dalsim with YC Mochi face off against a matchup that's not as difficult to manage with Karen. But as it stands, you know, Daigo was ready for either matchup no matter what. He just wanted to get his sights on Mago, was what it seems like. So he says there's still hope for them to qualify for the playoffs, so he's going to work harder with his reliable teammates as they should. There's still so much to do, or excuse me, so many more games left to play in Street Fighter League.
There's quite a bit more action to go through. I do like the fact that he, you know, the team aspect is coming through, right? Trusting your team to know they can get the victory, despite what what on paper says. What could happen on the screen is going to be completely different. Trusting your teammates to take a bad matchup, get that victory, and trusting yourself to get some of this hair rise gel that I might have to pick up. You know, I'm trying to get my hair looking like Guile out here. That looks super sick. It looks like a hair brand collab with Street Fighter 5. I feel like Street Fighter 5 has had collabs with dang near everything, so I'm not surprised about the hair gel. I wonder if it's that strong or can make your hair stick up like Guile's.
You know, if they ever need a model to kind of put these products on display, I would love to actually try this out and see how that works out for everybody, and make sure that I get to review the Hair Rise products, as well as being able to use that nice microfiber Guile towel. I'll tell you what, I'd be the perfect candidate for the Men's Svensson Hair Rise product series for hair, without a doubt in my mind. The towel says itself, train your hair to get it as good as Guile's. And if you want to even play Guile, you got to make sure you get on the Street Fighter 5 sale going on right now for Champion Edition. All of the season's characters are now available for trial if you wanted to try it out themselves individually. But also, just being able to pick up the game, it's the perfect time to do so. We've seen a lot of these cats duking it out, and we see who is on the roster. Currently available with the trial on PlayStation 4, seasons 1 through 4. Out for download now. If you guys wanted to get yourself into Street Fighter 5 and have been enjoying a lot of these games, it's a great time to hop in. We've talked about it in multiple CPTs, man. There's just so much going on with the character variety. It's actually such a blessing to see all these players come to light. St. Cola, we're going into the next matchup after this break, but what can the folks at home expect with this matchup coming up?
Man, they can expect Oja Body Star coming through against Good A Squad, trying to take a swing at the top spot. Good luck to them, but they might be able to get that win. Remember, the MOV finally got that victory on his side, so he's gonna be feeling fresh and ready to impress. But Good A Squad has already done so by being at the top spot for the longest, getting win after win. We'll see what happens coming up after this break.
That's right, yeah, Good A Squad still currently in the top spot with a significant lead against the rest of the cast, you know, kind of going ahead and looking at it. Nagoya Oja Body Star is still well within 2nd through 5th. Can they do something about the #1 team to get themselves secured even further into the playoffs? We'll find out after this break, but again, make sure to get yourselves a copy of Street Fighter 5 going on right now, just in time for Luke too. We mentioned it at the top of the show. Luke is going to be coming in on Monday, November 29th. You do not want to miss this opportunity to play this new character. All the new characters have been so cool to see, and of course that character is going to be available on the 14th episode, December 7th. So when we get back into it, we're going to see these two teams duke it out. It's Nagoya Oja Body Star going up against Good 8 Squad. We will see who's going to be accumulating more of these points a little bit after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Street Fighter League Pro-JP. Coming right back into it, let's get the next match started. It's Good 8 Squad going up against the Goya Ultra Body Star. And of course, let's talk about the #1 team real quick. The leader, the Hiroshima Predator, Gachi-kun, with that ever-impressive playstyle as the Sheed, backed up by the young gun, the next generation of Hope Kawano with that Colleen. And who could forget about my man Pugera, the unshakable boxer, making big waves in this season of Street Fighter V. And of course, the man with the plan, the massive pad grappler, Kichipamu, with the final member of Good 8 Squad, looking to take down the Goya Ultra Body Stars. Can they repeat another 4-0 victory for themselves and further widen the gap between first and second place?
Good luck to them because they're going up against a team of dictatorship. First off, it's a lightning fast Akira who's super impressive with that Gambi Kami. Right behind is going to be the youngness explosion himself, Oniki, with that beautiful Bison play. And if you weren't done with Bison, you get a little bit of that Chun-Li with the master of movement himself, MOV, aka the master of vampires. Rounding out the team is the devil of victory himself, Dogura. What an absolute lord of a team, and an absolute fire team right here. 2 Bisons, a Kami, and you've got someone enhanced after their recent victory, after finally finding a win, after finally finding something to grasp onto and saying, I can hang with the big dogs.
Speaking of the big dogs, this is that moment of truth, right? We saw that W for the first time from MOV. But as it stands right now, they're facing off against the biggest guns of them all in Street Fighter League. The 4-0 victory that came in from the Good 8 Squad had to leave a long-lasting impression. We see Pugera, we see Gachi-kun, as well as Kawano, all stepping up to the plate the last time they played, getting themselves a 4-0 victory. I'm kind of curious to see who's going to be on the bench, as Good 8 Squad is going to be on the away roster, or the away team this time around. And it is Kichipamu. That's exactly what I was expecting, actually. Kawano is coming up to the plate with Pugera coming up second, as well as Gachi-kun, and the anchor position, a very, very strong set for the away position from Good 8 Squad.
I think a lot of people might, be a little bit weirded out, but Dogura has proven that he can deal with the Geef matchup. Like, he's proven that he can get the job done against Geef. So I do like the fact that they took that off. Plus, you got Cammy on the other side of things, so that could have been a problematic thing, as well as Chun-Li. So smart of them to put Kichipamu on the bench. We're going to have the home discussion, thinking about what to do. They've got, again, 2 Bisons, a Cammy, and a Chun-Li coming through. Akira saying that they even guessed the sequence correctly. So they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They knew exactly what their team was going to come up with, the character selection, what they have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, who they went out with that day, what their likes and dislikes are. They were already prepared.
They had themselves ready with the reads. Akira, again, being the leader of the Goya Ultra Body Star, that's actually, something to do, or something that shows off his due diligence. But you could see the eagerness coming in from the team. Akira saying that they really want to beat this team. This is the team that they've been looking forward to, taking out the top guns. They are in the 2nd through 5th position, sure, but it would be pretty significant if they could take down the #1 team in the league, right? Just overall in terms of moral support, or a morale boost, I should say. But it's got to be a good feeling taking down #1, because then it's like, as you get ready for the playoffs, it's like, yo, this is actually very much so possible. As we get ourselves ready, Oniki is on the bench, and Akira, the captain, is putting himself first. Look at the amount of wins he's had as the anchor. Same goes for Kawano. A lot of the young guns stepping up to the plate for the teams. Damn, Kawano only has 1 loss. Are you kidding me? Jeez.
That's wild. This dude's ridiculous. I mean, not to take anything away with Akira. He's got 3 losses on the side and 2 anchor wins, but look at the wins on Kawano's side. Akira says they lost 0-4 previously, and as a responsible adult, he does not want to repeat the same mistake for the 2nd time. So he's coming up to the deck just to rectify what had happened previously. As again, remind y'all, these are runbacks. These are remixes. These are renditions, what we saw before. You might be seeing something more from the players as they, say, okay, I lost this way. I'm going to do something different now. And Akira come up the deck. I like this match. I mean, I think Colleen's one of the characters that can fight Cammy. She don't beat her, but she can fight her. But I do like that he's coming up to kind of put out a statement saying, like, I'm the captain. Let me get this done. Change the timeline.
No, you're absolutely right. I think that's also like, you know, the kind of summation you could put for Colleen in a lot of the matchups she has. Like, sure, she could fight it. She may not win it, but she could definitely fight it. I feel like she's like that with a lot of her matchups. But a little bit of home team trivia. You know, we've talked about the theme of what some of the players are envious of, some of the qualities of their other teammates that they're envious of. And it just so happens that Oniki says that Dogura is always smiling and making people smile. That's actually pretty true for the most part. Dogura saying Oniki is good at anti-airing. MOV mentioned a lot of good things about the others, but he's not envious at all of any of their qualities. Instead, he wants to focus on being himself, which is ever so important. A lot of, you know, a handful of these players have been saying that kind of thing too. Mongo was definitely one to say that in the previous matchups. Like, he's saying, you know, envious isn't really a thing for me. In fact, it's just nothing that's as important as focusing on yourself. So very big ups to a lot of these players out here with the right mental stack. But at the same time, it's like the home team trivia, away team trivia. It's like, you know, something that's kind of compliment your homies. I think is what they were looking for.
Yeah, they were looking to at least say, yo, you guys had something cool, you know, about you. Like, you know, envy something. Maybe you envy Dogura's lemon scented incense that he's got right there. You know, being able to power himself up, you know, maybe just anything, you know. But either way, MLB is going to be able to fight today. I'm curious to see what matchup he's going to be put on. But for right now, it's going to be Akira on the Kami, who has been very impressive. In fact, one of my favorite Kami players in a different sort of way. Fujimura is really great with those beautiful jab buffers that he has that we saw previously. But Akira is something wild. The wake up EXTK dive kicks, he's so hard to read. Even as a commentator, I'm like, what is this man gonna do next?
Yeah, I think Akira has one of the more popular fighting styles that we've seen thus far, and has really caught the attention of a lot of the viewers at home, even from us at the commentary side of things. I think Akira has been very, very offensive and has had all the right calls offensively and just overall the right, I want to say, he's pretty efficient in terms of what he uses his normals for. He's just as effective as Fujimura, but I think a little bit wilder than Fujimura in terms of offense.
You know, he calls himself, or maybe I'm not sure so much because I haven't seen him stream in a while. He used to call himself a bootleg Shanghai, but again, I think he's brand name. I don't think he's off-brand anymore. I think he's brand name. I think he's proven himself out here. He is a team captain. He's going up against Kawano, who has been an absolute champion in terms of not only being an EVO winner, not only winning multiple tournaments or getting top 8s and things like that, but also being a champion out here in Street Fighter League Japan with a ton of wins. Who's going to get the W this time?
I agree. Yeah, I think he's already transcended from being in the shadow of Shanghai to becoming his own person and stepping into the light. You know, Kawano also willing to test that out. It's like, you know, are you really what you say you are now? Off to a fantastic start, Kawano. Oh boy, yeah, making it snow already. We need that kind of snow in Southern California at least. Make it cold here. But either way, Kawano with a hefty life who doesn't want to overextend.
What you wish for. It is bad out here in the Midwest. But I'm impressed with that confirm, and that'll seal it right there with the arm breaker. Kawano caging in the beast, but he hasn't gotten too wild yet. I feel like he was on a 5. He can turn up real quick like volume. We've seen it before with Akira. He sets the fight. He has to find the right kind of momentum, and it's a good start. Off the heavy kick crush, sends it to the corner with the spiral arrow. What a great sequence.
Oh. Getting the single hit confirm off the low medium kick. Oh, he just ran into it, the icicle step. Kawano using it as the escape option, still manages to chase down Akira now. Ugh. Trigger is on deck. Watch out for that activation. Just a matter of time and how it's going to come out. The throw bait now coming from Akira. We're waiting for that trigger activation. How is it going to come? Crouching heavy punch does get blocked, and now Kawano-chan on the defensive end. What's going to happen here?
Side switch. He's out of there. He's skating on in for that win. EX, Parabellum, and ends with the Parabellum 1 stack damage. Oh, the stagger step off the medium. That's a lot of damage. The javelin right through the heart. Kawano with the first win.
I thought you were going to go into the song.
I don't know about this one.
Javelin through the heart. I know exactly what you were thinking about on that one. Kawano getting the first game pretty convincingly against Akira. Not too much to say about that. You know, there hasn't been enough for Akira to get himself out of harm's way. He's been stuck frozen in a lot of these situations in the corner, no pun intended. But that's just a testament to how intimidating Kawano really is against the young man Akira. As we get ourselves ready into the next game, Akira is looking to go back to the lobby, reassess the situation, and calm himself just a little bit. You can see how much he's been shook from that game itself. Kawano immediately took to his phone. He's like, I got this, guys. He's texting everybody. He's like, watch me work this, man.
He said easy work. All he put in the group chat was easy work. But Akira does look shook. If we don't get to see that unusual aggression from Akira, the jumpers weren't working, and I feel like that momentum was stripped away as soon as it was taken. So I feel like Akira, he's really momentum based. He finds that momentum, he just rides with it all the way through, finds these quick victories. Not this time. I feel like Kawano's taking away, side switching, stagger step the mediums and things like that when Akira feels like he wants to be able to press. And now Kawano up a game.
Indeed, he is up a full game, very convincingly, looking to take it down in this round. He wants to look for that 2-0. We'll see if he can get it. Does get the counter hit off of the stand short. Sits back down. Akira actually nailing the stand, or excuse me, the jump dive kick. Ooh!
There we go. Didn't get a full conversion, though. This is unfortunate. You can't let that momentum slide against this dude. Nice DP on the way down on that jump.
Yeah, very smart from Akira. Oh, that could have been huge if he actually got that back throw. Kawano-chan is still getting himself out of corner little by little. A little bit of buffers too. Standing light kick has been the main tool.
Akira just maybe scared to throw out the crouch meeting kick, because we've seen Kawano deal with that, the standing light kick of his own. There's a crush. Oh my God, the flip out right into the super. So smart with it. Caught him with the medium.
Do you think, with the amount of life left on Kawano's behalf, do you think Akira actually needed it? I think off of that medium kick, he could have just gone into the uppercut and then finish off the rest of it, no? With a drill? I don't know. Right. Either way.
It might be one of the situations where you're panicking, you're like, I gotta kill him, I gotta do something. Get this dude down. It's an expensive win, though. You're right.
Yeah.
The Barbie had right now.
It's like, he just got his paycheck and immediately went to the boys and like, yo, it's time for this barbecue. Let's go. Forward throw now. Kawano still locking him down. That crouching medium kick to check Akira afterwards and just walking away from the crime scene. He's like, nothing happened. He just sprinkled some ice dust in there. And again, just trying to get out of the way. He's being risk averse as much as possible.
It's the danger of Kawano. He doesn't overextend to get that win. And right there, finds the jab confirm, puts him on set point. It's so painful. Like, you want to get that victory, but we see how he deals with the crouching mini kick. He's done whip punishes on damn near every normal we've seen in this Street Fighter League. In the parry situation on the jump in, lockdown pressure makes him expend some of V-bar just to escape the situation. Didn't even go for a break. Just went for the V-shift, get some distance. Oh, nice little baby, didn't get a punish. We'll find the counter handle though off the medium.
The V-shift break out of there, getting himself out of harm's way, but still the realignment for getting himself out of the corner. Kawano does a great job of utilizing the time Akira spends in the air, either by using the V-shift or walking right under to readjust for positioning. He's been very vigilant about it. Oh boy. Getting a full punish now. Have
to stay alive, dash up. Akira, even with that low amount of health, you wouldn't expect someone to dash up like that, but that's the aggression. He's so different with it. Finds a confirm. DP spins all the V-bar. Makes him hold a throw. There we go.
Another one.
It's the Akira we wanted to see.
Oh, he doesn't get a full conversion. Back-to-back counter hits. He's dropping everything. And the throw is there. It's just fine. Even Akira had to rub his eyes out on that one. He's like, what am I doing? I missed 2 counter hits. I got to seal it now or else I'm going to get smoked. But fortunately for him, ties it all up against Kawano. Kawano looking for his phone. He's like, boys, listen, I know I might have been a little eager on this one, but I got this. It's fine.
Round 1. Fight.
Dang, that must be, you would be feeling real tight if you had to go back to the Discord or the group chat and be like, dog, I just got cleaned up after what I just said. because this is game point for both players right here. Akira starting to feel a little bit more of that momentum. We saw some drops come through, but I feel like if he solidifies it, it's going to be even more difficult for someone like Kawano to seal it. But Kawano trying to be risk averse again. Back to that positioning where he's doing the back heavy kick, the fierce, and the dash up, set himself up for success with that dash in. He's been playing so slow. The dash in works out. Does it again. Gets so low. Lock him down with the throw.
Oh boy, this is looking all Kawano. He's gonna get himself a perfect to start things off, and at least a bar, and just about a bar and a half, I should say. He's not gonna be looking for that bar to really get himself offense oriented. Okay, you know what? While he checks the dash, immediately disregard what I just said about the bar usage early on. But Kawano now pushing Cammy to the corner at near what, 8 seconds left, or excuse me, in the right out the gate, I should say.
And it's really good about having that space to be able to back away from the dive kicks, as you see right there, making Akira spin that bar and putting his own on so he can cook with. Puts the Parabellum on the lockdown with the fireball, the challenge jab, using the activation into the DP side switch, spinning the bar, just get out of that situation. Expensive spin, but he might be able to find the win. Lifts the crouch fierce. Kawano, gotta be careful with these anti-air situations. He does have the parry on the deck if need be.
Kawano still doing a great job of setting the pace, right? He's being so active on defense. The jump back jab to stop the dive kick pressure coming in from Akira. Back-to-back dive kicks, spending one of them for bar EX mode. But now Kawano is looking to seal it. He does have 2.5 bars left. If he gets a single confirm into EX Parabellum, it's going to be lights out. If he gets a single EX dive or EX parry on a dive kick, then it's going to be lights out as well.
Oh, I want to see that. That would be super sick. And you know that Akira's super worried about that too. Still jumping in. Akira defying all laws right here. All thought process. Jump back jab. Jump fierce jab. One more jab will do it. One more dab will do ya. Just a dab. Kawano with the activation, the parry to seal it. You type nasty, Kawano. You type nasty today.
Pauline wins.
We called it. The way that Kawano was moving and the smile on his face, you already know exactly what his game plan was. He wasn't going to overextend on offense. He wasn't even going to play offense at all. He was going to play the most active defense. We've seen his options when it comes to the air department. He went jump back jab, jump forward fierce, and EX parry. We talked about it. We literally set it up for Kawano. He's like, you know what? There's a couple of things he could do with that meter. One of them being a confirm if Akira happens to make a fatal mistake, he can go into EX Parabellum, or we're going to see an EX parry against the dive kick, and that's exactly what happened. Kawano making sure to use the best of his meter, the most of he can in that situation, getting himself first blood for the good 8 squad. Now looking at 5-0, facing off against Nagoya Oja Body Star in the run back. This is looking pretty tough for the Body Stars.
See right here, 1-1 in terms of anti-airs on the side of Akira. 5-7. You know, it's difficult to anti-air Cammy, so I understand why it was difficult for Kawano to come through. But the anti-air that definitely came through in the clutch was the end with the parries and the jump back, jab and fierce. Very prepared, and this shows you the strength of good 8 squad, right? They're at the top spot, but they don't linger. They don't lack. They make sure to have a game plan no matter who they're fighting. They make sure to take every game plan or every player seriously. He was ready, prepared to deal with the Akira style, which is hard to actually, you know, fight this kind of dude. Like someone whose aerial approaches is difficult to read, their ground game is hard to read, things like that. Even when they make mistakes, they clean it up in sort of way that's like, oh, are you built this way? You mad different. But Akira is one of those players that I think is on the side of like, it's hard to understand what he wants to do. Kawano came very prepared, risk averse, and sealed it.
Without a doubt in my mind, you know, Kawano is definitely the kind of character to keep his composure throughout the entirety of it. Whether he has the advantage, whether he's at the disadvantage, Kawano is definitely a very pivotal piece to the good 8 squad and their huge success this season of Street Fighter League. Kawano hasn't lost a single Cammy matchup yet. If you're looking at the overall spread and how he's performed, this man has dominated almost every single Cammy thus far in Street Fighter League. But that just leaves even more of a problem for the home team as they get their discussion going. Bugera Balrog is going to be going up second. Who do you think is going to be coming up, as Oniki is currently benched, right? Do you think MOV is going to be the one to step up to the plate? I feel like he is.
I think it might be MOV. I feel like it's not a bad matchup for Chun-Li. You know, she's got really good normals. It does with Rog. And Pugera last time had beat MOV Chun-Li, so this would be a sick run back to see. Dogra joking, telling Oniki to get ready next. Man, that is brutal. But that's also just Dogra making you smile right there. Akira said MOV Chun-Li, but followed up saying he said it wrongly. It is going to be Dogra Dictator. Instead, that means MOB is going to be in the anchor spot later on. Dogra going up now. MOB telling Akira to chill and relax. And just, hey man, it's cool. You lost, took that L, take it graciously. We'll handle the rest. Leave the rest to us. Leave Good 8 Squad to me.
Very interesting. Telling MOB to chill and relax when he has probably the most pressure coming into the matchup as the anchor position, right? Like, he just got his first W and you're telling him to relax. Like, no, you're gonna be just fine. You're only playing the anchor spot. I don't know. I feel like that adds more pressure. But either way, Dogra knows that Pugera has done a lot of dictator practice lately, pretty much snooping around on CFN. As we can see the overall record, this man Pugera has only lost 2 games and got himself 11 points. He's up there. Actually, both of these cats with very, very, very similar win records, actually near identical. Am I tripping? 11 points overall for both. The number 2 actually tied for number 2. I think Tokido is in the lead of the pack when it comes to overall points earned for their team. This is actually kind of crazy. I love the fact that Pugera and Dogra are facing off against each other.
And even better, they've both been practicing against each other's characters, like preparing. You couldn't ask for a better set right here. Pugera and Dogra going up. As of, when I play Bison, I see this matchup, I still think, it's not the worst for Boxer. Like, there's plenty of moments where he can put Bison on his back. The V skill being great, especially if there's no bar for Bison to come through and stop that charge for V skill 2. But Bison overall, I feel like can slug it out just a little bit better and has a little bit better sequences in terms of V trigger and maybe making the comebacks. However, Boxer is a man of damage. He can definitely do it. Gachikun says Pugera has a very good memory. We'll go back to the trivia. By the way, Gachikun says Pugera has a very good memory, and Kawano says that Pugera also knows a lot of difficult Japanese words. That's really cool. If you guys remember, Pugera had mentioned a move name that he named for his tap. That was made up, but maybe that's one of the difficult Japanese words that he had found. Pugera also said he is back taking photos and envies Kichipamu for being comfortable in front of the camera, as you can see right here with the glasses.
And of course, Kichipamu had to put his 2 cents in when it comes to the trivia. He says that Kawano speaks very good English. Actually, I would love to test him out someday if we could get Kawano back into the States for another event. Actually, I've had I've talked to him about his work over in Street Fighter League in previous seasons. I said I was a fan of his, and he responded in kind, saying thank you in English. So I'd imagine his English is pretty good. The way he said it, the way he executed it. So either way, Kichipamu says it immediately after he said that Kawano speaks very good English. He says no one's actually heard that before. So very interesting. So people are wondering if he's just trolling. But I definitely heard Kawano say thank you when he had blonde hair. I remember this Capcom Cup. He had blonde hair, and I said I was a fan of his. He said thank you. And I was like, oh, damn, okay. That was cool.
Oh. It's always a shock to see, a lot of some of the players being bilingual, and it's really cool too because let's just have conversations and stuff like that. Something that I hope that other people in the U.S. get better about, or in Japanese school, we can have conversations. But there are many Japanese players that do speak English, especially if you go to their streams, you talk to them and things like that. Bonchan for one has really good English. A few other players like Jazzy, who's an Akuma player who has amazing English too. Aru, also one of the casters/commentators, is really proficient in English. You can have a full conversation with him as well. But it is great to have people that are bilingual out here in the scene on both sides of the pond.
One secret that I've kept to myself for quite some time is that Daigo's English is actually pretty decent. He's very shy about using it, is what it is.
What?
I'm telling you, man. Daigo knows full well what you guys are saying. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled, man. He hears it. He just won't respond in English. He knows exactly what y'all are talking about.
I like that. At least he knows what's going on. Like, hey, y'all can't be talking smack because I know about that. Must be the SmackDown is about to happen right here. Bison/Dictator versus Boxer. Man, / Ball wrong. I should say. Gotta finish that. Curious to see how their training's gonna be worked out. I had to make sure everyone knew what the name switch-ups are. You know, gotta be I guess professional. See how professional
This
they
is
are
exactly what's gonna happen, right? Like Pugera is, or excuse me, Bog is fighting to get his name changed back, right? He's trying to earn his name back from his boss. But man, that was a really beautiful whiff punish coming in from Dogura, just outside of that dash punch range.
Outside of the fierce range too as well. Not have to deal with that too much. Interruption on the down four fierce. Nice and preemptive. Back to mid-screen we go. Careful, the V-skill stock up there. Yeah, off the upper, perfect time to do it. The sister kick comes through. V reversal immediately off that situation. Doesn't have to deal with the plus frames, the +1 situation that comes.
Oh, damn, the whiff punish off with the crouching medium punch. This guy, Dogura, has it all. Forward throw now. Psycho Crusher to apply even more pressure from full screen, by the way. Planning the bomb past the V reversal. I love that.
Look at the backdash staying away. But that in the V skill 2 in play. But the V shift staves away the bomb for another day. That means no more trigger on the side of Dogura, but he has the lead. V reversal again. Bulgaria feeling the heat, trying to come through with the EX. No go. The jump over. The leapfrog. Ending with the blast. That fierce. So good. You can end it with a blast, scissor kick, things like that. But also what's good is that V skill enhanced. Dash punch, EX addition, double it down in the jab to do it. Pugera.
As explosive as ever, I'm telling you, man. Pugera, as soon as he has meter, he makes it hurt so much. And man, the V skill 2, getting a full conversion off of that. Look at the amount of damage and the carry. Dogura completely unfazed, using that V skill 2 at the perfect time to get the side switch and the plus frames in general.
Every time I watch Dogura, I always see something different in terms of like his Bison play. And we don't see many Bison players using the V skill 2. It can get checked, but he's using it on meaty situations or knockdowns or to find side switches, which I think is really good. I like this from Dogura. V skill 1 wouldn't be using this matchup very well, but the back throw coming through from Pugera puts the upper on him, the dash punch. The back dash, good read. Tech again. Tech it for damn dear life. The will to tech.
A will to keep teching. That's chapter 2 of Daigo's book.
I get that far.
Watch out for the detonation on the other side.
What a combo!
You already know.
Ultimate Cycle Crusher! What an exchange to have the awareness and the V skill 2 at the right time to shine. Dogura on something different. Let me take some notes.
That was actually pretty sick, actually. Getting the full conversion like that was actually disgusting. This guy Dogura, man. And Pugera, while maintaining this lead, I was gonna say, yeah, that neutral jump is gonna be coming in full effect. Dogura now getting the crush counter close to stun. He does get it off with a throw bait, but it's not gonna be a one and done situation. He's still gonna be living. Oh, not after that though. A counter hit. Pugera is still opting to press buttons on Wake Up. Already off to a great start. Pugera, or excuse me, Dogura getting game number 1.
One of the best things I see about Dogura is his defense into offense. A lot of any Bison player can put on offense. That's the easiest part of Bison, but having good defense, reading what they want to do and then finding a way out of the corner, things like that. You know, you don't have the typical, you know, DP. You do have a 3-frame, you have a reversal, things like that, but having good defense is how you become a really good Bison player. We're seeing that from Dogura. Crush though, as soon as I say that, Bulgaria off to a great round start where he blows up a V-bar and has got him locked in the corner, and the whip punch with the down four fears outside that distance. Bulgaria adjusting.
Oh. Already off to a great start, does get the implant. Checking with medium kicks immediately after against Pugera. Yeah, he's just letting it rock, really. He wanted to maintain the plus frames after that and pursue into the corner, but now it's all Pugera. Plus frame city. And even more dash punches to the grill. Dogura, I felt like there was something off about that round. There was something about Pugera that was significantly different where Dogura couldn't get his momentum going or even couldn't get the right spacing for any whiff punishes. So Pugera, whatever subtle micro adjustments he's made, it's paying off dividends.
You saw him deal with the down four fears really well as a whiff punish. So I feel like Dogura has to take that off the table for a little bit because lot of recovery on that. And now you let him stock up for free. Pugera taking out the time, say, you ain't got no bar? That's cool. I'm gonna go for these V-skill stock ups. It's gonna send my combos. I don't gotta worry about much. Now he has to worry about the slide or the activation off the target combo. The Grimace, implanted. Back throw though, eliminates the bomb. Punish.
I'm liking this from Pugera also. Making sure to combat the V-trigger. Man, still that's another V-reversal grab from the side of Dogura. Oh, the big crush is gonna have enough.
Counter hit
again! Oh my god, he caught him pressing another set of buttons where he shouldn't. He caught his hand in the cookie jar.
Aren't you on a diet? Man said be quiet.
Big boy, don't try it. I'm telling you, man. Pugera is stuck in this corner yet again, near 50%. Dogura doing a fantastic job. V-shift break. He tried to get a punish. Did he get your backdash?
That's blocked. Oh no, he did. I thought he backdashed in time to stay fine, but I guess not. A lot of damage dealt. The side switch situation, this is pretty good for Pugera. Until the wake up light into EX. Back throw. Down you go. Swing out that fierce. V-shift. Trigger on the deck for Dogura. He can slide through. That opens up his options too. EX locking him down. Grips him up and that'll do it.
Woo! There's nothing better than this exact scenario for Dogura. One, he has his patented lemon scent, making sure he plays to the best of his ability. Number two, he prefaced the matchup with Pugera, or by saying Pugera has been practicing against Bison lately, so I want to test my limits and see how much work he's actually done. And number three, he's put Pugera down now as the number 3 top scorer in the league. Dogura ensuring himself second place, getting the W over Pugera. Absolutely critical. That is what, 12 points on the board for my man Dogura. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Big 3 statements made against Pugera in that single matchup. And speaking of, let's take a look at the stats right now. Anti-air department, a bunch of donuts really coming from the side of Dogura. Not much to be had there, and that's it. All it really doesn't matter if you get the W. Pugera, on the other hand, 100% in anti-air, 0 for 0 when it comes to invincible reversals. Not going to be as significant as Bison, or excuse me, Balrog or Bison, knowing full well that they don't have that option. But again, Dogura making pretty convincing work against Pugera, 2-1, or excuse me, 2-0.
Fantastic way to also use that V skill too. Amazing extensions with that. Now sets up his team for victory. It all comes down to MOV. It all comes down to this dude who finally found a win. Look, I think he looked prepared, like he ready for battle this time. Whereas before, he's looking a little bit more stressed, a little depressed, you know, what's been going on, getting loss after loss. After finally finding that win, I'm seeing the light in his eyes. The bags are gone from him. And I feel like he's ready to shine. In the first of 3 situations, you got a little more time to acclimate, deliberate on how you're going to beat your opponent. MOV coming up with a Chun-Li next. We have seen when he gets everything correct, how strong he is. He's got lineage behind that character from years upon years of playing in multiple fighting games, but he is going up against a Capcom Cup champion of Rashid. That is Gachikun himself.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, right? We take a look at the record as we get ourselves ready for the matches. 4 losses from the side of Gachikun, but still the rest of them are W's. But MOV's side, right, he's only had 1 significant W, and that was in the week prior, or the episode prior, in episode 10. But, you know, you'd have to think to yourself, it is pretty intimidating to see this kind of win record coming in from Gachikun, all right? 2 wins from the anchor position, but overall a solid win record. 8 points given to the team as the leader. Feeling pretty good and intimidating. But with the recent win that Dogura just had, MOV says that Dogura did extremely well, so he better work. He wants to work well enough to do good in this matchup as well, is what he's saying. So the previous matchup that he's won, that MOV's won, it was against Moke's Rashid. Hopefully he gets to use what he learned from that matchup to pursue a W today. And you've talked about that Chun-Li being that tried and true character he's used in previous iterations of Street Fighter. I still remember the day I saw him at Denjin Arcade. The first time I've seen instant lightning legs from Chun-Li from like a single button. No buffer needed, just straight up instant legs. And MOV was the first one ever to show me that. This guy definitely has what it takes to execute at a high level. But right now, he's got quite the task facing off against the Capcom Cup champion.
And a Chun-Li that you really have to be committed with your anti-airs with the back heavy kick too as well, or the air airs. We saw him starting to get that going when he fought MOV. He's gonna have to bring out real early against someone like Gachikun, who will sniff that out real quick. Tick hit in the back throw, caught in the corner. No chasing off the medium, too far out for that button to reach though. V-shift goes for the break, gets the Great Life on the deck. Gachikun trying to peck away. Finds a counter situation. V-skill, DP ender right there. That's a chunk of damage.
Oh, just happened to hit, finding the mark with that standing heavy kick. Forward throw now, sit him down in the snow. Yeah, now we're looking at the trigger kind of wind down. What?
An interruption with a super? He blocked that, Vicious? He blocked that?
That entire sequence made me think MOV was done for. I can't believe he survived multiple onslaughts of death. He was he was in such a position to actually get destroyed, but he came out on top. That was a great stoppage too on the V trigger first, and of course using that crouching jab to bait out the critical art. That was so smart.
The last person to final destination. Let's go. MOV still alive to thrive. You see the dive kick coming through against the anti-air situation. Again, it's hard to deal with. There's an anti-air this season for Chun-Li. That same light kick got nerfed. Not as easy to just kind of throw out. Big punish right here. Big DP to get the distance though. MOV needed that. Needs to find some room, but not gonna happen now. Hold his throw.
EX spinning mixer, the stun is adding up, and just a single hit. Nice work there from Gachikun, nice and easy. A great way to layer on the pressure, to layer on the offense, right? Standing light punch, you have so many different routes to go to, it's gonna be just fine. Could be a tick throw, could set up for a frame trap, multiple frame traps in one. No punish, but either way, Gachikun does get the punish on the lightning legs instead.
Yeah, maybe EX would have reached that since it's so quick. I wonder if EX legs would have reached that range. It is -7, but it's hard to deal for a lot of characters. So advanced EX moves would do the deal. I wonder if that would have done it right there. But anyway, MOV losing a lot of healthy sequences right here, trading back and forth. Crouch Fierce coming through the EX. Even if it's blocked, you get pushed to the corner. And that's what Rashid wants to do. He wants to put you in the corner and apply that pressure. The Barman Bailey's off the backboard too that you have to worry about.
Forward throw, fully locked in on the meter. This is going to be huge for MOV. Can he set up for an unblockable into critical art? Oh, it doesn't matter. He actually caught Gachikun. This is not going to kill, though. He does get an opportunity to V-skill for an ambiguous mix-up, or at least a pressure, but the safe jump opportunity goes for it. He catches the V-reversal. Nice work from MOV. He's feeling pretty confident about himself, but there is a theme going on with Gachikun. I don't know if you guys have noticed thus far. Gachikun really takes his time in dissecting the information given by his opponent. Although he fell short in the first game, it's still going to be best of 5. Gachikun almost always makes or finds a way to make it work after a defeat in game 1.
That's how he is as a player. You're definitely correct in mentioning that. We've seen him, if he loses to somebody, he'll always have something new on the deck. You maybe like, oh, I'll V reversal here, or I'll use these buttons here instead, or I'll just maybe get a little bit faster to come correct against his character. The difficulty, you have to deal with the standing fierce from this character. How do you combat that with her good normals and the crouching mini kick? You walk on in, says Gachikun. There's the throw though. MOV's got him caught up in the corner. No conversion off that counter hit medium. Gotta find more.
Big interruption there. The 4 medium punch actually could have gone to EX legs. There was a counter hit, but he opts not to spend the meter. Very interesting. Oh. The crush counter conversion now from Gachikun, dashing up with big tech. MOV does not want to stay in this corner for too long. You can see the movement options coming in. Finds the low into SPK. Oh my God! Back that
there's
thing.
A punish!
I love it. I absolutely love it. Gachikun actually got thinking he could go right into that activation for free. MOV reading him like a book. This is the strongest showing we've seen thus far from MOV, having the right callouts thus far against Gachikun. Another another special normal.
This is the MOV that we wanted to see. This is the MOV of lore that we've seen previously in other games. This is the Chun-Li expert coming through. Gets the Oki in the counter situation on the medium no vegan EXTP though. From Gachikun gets some distance. Neutral really well played here from MOV. Just finding these great sequences. These innate things with punish on the crouch fierce. It's outside the distance, waiting for the whiffs to come through. No mixer on that light though.
Activation time off of the roundhouse. Gachikun does get the forward throw. What's going to be the pressure? Whirlwind shot does get broken by the V break. MOV knowing full well what to do in that part of the matchup. But here comes Gachikun. More than enough damage incoming from the critical arc, tying it up in the rounds in game number 2. But that leaves MOV in a very advantageous situation, right? 3 bars coming into this next round. Best believe he's going to use it to get his offense going.
What really helps is that you do get, you're going for Oki. These situations, crouch meter kick into EX legs is the way to play. You have SBK, but it's easier just to run the crouch meter kick and spin some of that bar to get going. Or if you're just a godlike MOV, you just run it raw like that. But the challenge though, from Gachikun right back at him. Those legs could set up a good situation in terms of a super and then get the Oki as we saw before, if need be in the middle of the round. A lot of ways to spin that bar to get the win.
Right. So that critical art's still on deck. If he gets a stray hit off of a heavy, he does get that Oki situation. But right now, Gachikun is doing his best to keep the threat contained that is MOV in this corner. He does get another activation, but still the interruption there from MOV. Instead of spending it for the critical art, he uses it for EX legs. I do like that from the crouching light. But now, MOV, he's in dire straits. That trigger is slowly winding down. Critical art,
the super?
Is there enough minimal damage scaling involved? He's actually dead.
Oh my god, the last hit!
Woo,
that combo did so much. I mean, you know that, like, the damage that comes from this character is really about V-Trigger too. Obviously corner carry, or the corner position also helps out with that, but V-Trigger 2 is where he accesses the most amount of his damage. The amount that came through from that, I didn't think it was going to be able to seal it. But Gachikun definitely knew. He came through.
Very impressive. Very impressive composure there from Gachikun, despite being pretty much down on chips when it comes to like the meter, maybe the life lead, but all of that sequencing from the corner, exactly where Rashid wants you to be, paying dividends. I like that a lot.
Gachikun now try to swing out the crouch fierce and the fireball in this range where he's still on the fierce punch right there to lead the heavy punch button, and you can't leave for free, my friend. You gotta pay the challenge right there. There's pretty much what we want to see off those jabs on the dash checks. Waits and baits, puts him in the corner with the eagle spike. Looking more than all right. EX plus range, heavy kick coming through, deletes the crouch immediate kick, and that'll be stunned and done. What a decision. He's gonna go for the activation anyway, but that heavy kick coming into play against the crouch immediate kick finishes the job and puts himself up around.
We talked about that adaptation that Gachikun is well known for. Taking that L in the first part of the set, not gonna phase him whatsoever. He's slowly breaking down the defense from MOV. You can see it in his gameplay, just waiting. I like that from MOV too. Finding a way to get that crouching light, bust himself out of the corner. EX legs now to push MOV, or excuse me, to push Gachikun.
Just can't be too obvious on the activation if you're Gachikun. We saw what happened before. This could come through with the EX legs instead of a super, but still. MOV challenging, getting hit with a medium kick. One more CA position could do it. Side drop there, look like. Careful with those buttons.
Definitely within kill range for both players. It's a possibility off of one big hit, and that's the hit he was looking for. Gachikun up a full game 2-1 off of the biggest confirm he could possibly ask for in that round. If you're MOV, you got to be feeling it just a little bit. He had so much meter down below. You can see it at the bottom left. St. Cola, he had trigger and critical art, man.
Can't put that in a doggy bag. You got to eat it here. You can't take it home. It just be like that. MOV, unfortunately, not able to use any of that bar. But Gachikun, on the other hand, his bar expenditure has been immaculate. Only ever so often using it for the EX whirlwind pressure. He actually has been using it less and less and saving it for these super confirms or just confirms that'll seal it into a super after being a V-trigger. Smart stuff, and that's why he is on game point against MOV. One of the reasons. There's many reasons, actually.
True. Very true. And look at the composure here also. Look at the amount of focus it takes right now for Gachiku. No sarcasm. Like, look at how much he's been laying it down against MOV in this corner, right? He's not overextending. He's really trying to pick and choose his marks as to when to go in with frame traps and standing roundhouses, etc. This is going to be great right now.
Bust out some distance, but that's not too bad for Gachiku. Like, you're still top in the corner. You're willing to walk back. And Crouch has been doing absolute money. And right on the mark, Gachiku is on set point. One thing that you could tell that Gachiku has so much, like, I guess, confidence in the neutral is he's been swinging out these crouch fierces. They have not been whip punished, dealt with crouch mini kick or EX legs at all from MOV. No risk at all. I thought the EX fireball and the EX legs didn't work though. Only a little bit hit.
You see the roundhouses kind of flying in from MOV, but still the crouching heavy punch has been the bigger threat against MOV's likelihood, or livelihood, I should say. Stuck in this corner, Gachiku now. Set up. Oh, that could have been huge for an empty jump low, but MOV finding the right time to interrupt as well. The trigger, whiffing the second part of it. This is going to be a good amount of damage incoming, if not dead. Oh, he doesn't have critical hit built up yet. And that's going to be it. Seals the deal with the frame trap. Gachiku 3-1 against the Masters of Vampires. Unfortunate circumstance for MOV. This guy, Akira's like, you get to chill in the anchor spot? No, sir. You have to face off against one of the best machines in the world.
And with that, it's another good 8 squad win. Hoja Body Star just couldn't seal it. And that was just the strength of Gachiku coming through. The ability for him to delete a lot of options and then swing out some that you would typically see being taken care of, right? That Crouch Fierce has recovery. You can whip punish it. You can deal with it. Chun-Li's some of the best in the business with dealing with that, but it's just the confidence that Gachiku has in the placement. Every so often he throw out an EX Fireball. We saw that catch MOV a couple of times when he thought it was off the table. So the deliberation of what to use in terms of the economy of buttons was absolutely perfect from Gachiku. Made it hard for him to deal with, and you see MOV just reeling back with another loss on his side. Good 8 squad with another win.
Absolutely. Good 8 squad. Overall, their win record against Nagoya Ojo Body Stars is now 7-1. They couldn't fulfill the prophecy of another 4-0. Couldn't live up to the name of Good 8. But they're still number 1 on the charts. Let's take a look at their stats overall. Gachiku taking it down 3-1 against MOV. And in terms of anti-air, he's 2 out of 3, 66%, as well as 1 out of 3. I think it was 1 out of 3 in terms of invincible reversals. Looking at the side of MOV, 75% efficiency rate when it comes to anti-airs, 100% when it comes to invincible reversals. It was 50% from the side of Gachiku. My mistake. But either way, Gachiku again making light work after that first game, that first loss that he experienced against MOV, taking it down 3 games straight. That is important information to take note if you guys ever have to face off against Good 8 squad, like going forward for the rest of these teams. It's like, okay, well, Gachiku happens to have some of the best analytical minds in Street Fighter to make these adjustments on the fly in between the sets. So it's something to keep in mind. Again, he's the Capcom Cup champion for a reason.
You'll see right there. Y'all saw what happened. I feel like a lot of these players, if you look on Twitter or look on their, their YouTubes and stuff like that, or the Meltdowns or Twitch, wherever they're streaming, they're always studying the competition. But Good 8 squad on their side has been still doing due diligence despite being at the top of the pack. They're still at the top spot. They're still, taking all the wins out here. We're going to get a away team interview real soon, but again, another one on their side. Kichipamo on the bench, but they still seal the deal. Great team synergy, great usage of when to place their players. Even though Bulgaria didn't find the victory, the other, Kawano and Gachiku coming through were enough to do it. Gachiku saying that he's glad that they won as the away team, which is more difficult. You have to put your players and your characters up first. The home team can deliberate and configure what they're going to do on their side of things. So Gachiku happy that he was able to come through on the away side and still seal it, which is great. Again, not having that advantage to say, oh, you're gonna do this and that, but having something prepared and ready, be steady.
That's ever so important, right? We talked about getting those W's as the away squad, right? When you're at a disadvantage and having to put your order and character up first, you leave yourself susceptible to all the counter picks. What's good about Good 8 Squad is that they no longer have to do that as often. They only have one more day as the away squad. The rest of the games they have to play throughout the league, they're in the home team advantage side. So that's pretty fortunate if you ask me. So looking at that, Good 8 Squad with Gachikun in that trivia, or excuse me, in the interview saying he wants to aim to take 12 more points. Well, he's doing a great job thus far. We see the results from episode 11, day number 2, 3-1 for Mildon Beast over Gyogun, a very important one to get themselves within the top 5. Nagoya Oja Body Star falling by the wayside just a little bit against Good 8 Squad, not being able to amass the run back or the comeback from what transpired. So far, it's been pretty dominant from Good 8 Squad. 34 points, looking like Big Shaq Diesel at the very top. Shinobiism Gaming followed by FAV Roto Z with 24 apiece. Nagoya Oja Body Star with 23 points. And Gyogun rounding up 5th place with 22. You see where the barrier is to entry for the playoffs. Mildon Beast trailing behind, but not much. 20 points. Sai Shunkan Sol Kumamoto with 17. And of course, at the bottom right now, Camouflage Detonation with 15. And I do say right now because this has been, what, just another day. 11th episode already under wraps for day 2. We still have 6 more full days of games to play. So it could change up at any moment.
Absolutely. And then that means the next time we see y'all, it's going to be Good 8 Squad versus Mildon Beast, trying to get those points to get above the red line to stay fine, and Soul going up against Gyogun. That's going to be super sick too as well. Remember, these are all run backs, the comebacks, the remixes to see what they're going to do. I wonder if Good 8 Squad is going to finally go down to Mildon Beast, or Sashun Sun Kan Soul is going to beat Gyogun, try to get those points. They're all vying for the top spot, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
Without a doubt, I hope you guys have enjoyed another episode of Street Fighter League. We'll be back on Monday to show off the best of Japan. And of course, from all of us, we wish you all very happy holidays and happy Thanksgiving for those that are stateside. Everyone else that have been enjoying the matches, we hope you guys have been enjoying it. Let us know on social media how much you've been enjoying it. In fact, we've been pretty much nonstop thus far. We do enjoy it. So again, big ups to everybody around the world tuning in for Street Fighter 5. You have been tuning in to Street Fighter League Pro-JP. We'll see you all on Monday. Take it easy and keep playing more Street Fighter 5. Take care, everyone.